everybody, and welcome to today's iStore Meets session. My name is Demi, and with me today I have my wonderful colleague Z, and we are both really excited to bring to you and to showcase to you why iPad is the best tool for teaching and learning in the intermediate phase. So this is an iStore Meet session, and it is in partnership with Think Ahead. Now, Think Ahead works with schools to help and support you in your 21st century teaching and learning journey. We help school practitioners design and implement the best possible education experiences for their teachers and students in the most cost-effective, sustainable, and accessible way possible. So I'd just like to take a few minutes before we jump in to showcase who Think Ahead is. Okay, and I will share those details at the end of the session, along with some amazing offers that we have available for teachers and parents and schools. And I will also share something that we are really, really excited about, one of our upcoming events at the end of today's session. So before I get started, I would love for you to interact with us in today's session. So say hi in the chat box. Let me know where you're joining me from at any time in the workshop today. If you have any questions, if I've gone past something but too quickly, just pop it in the chat box and I will answer your questions as quickly as possible, or we'll leave some time at the end of today's session to answer any questions. You can also share more around today's workshop using the hashtag iStoreMeets and stand a chance to win a 1,500 Rand iStore gift voucher. And then lastly, for those of you interested in hosting your very own iStore Meets session, you can contact our team with the email address on screen to find out more about that. Fantastic. I see lots and lots of people joining us today. It is lovely to have you all here. So let's dive into this session. We're going to look at some of the tools and some of the things that make the iPad really, really user-friendly in the classroom and just make it a nice tool for you to teach and to learn with. We know that great teachers and powerful technology are an incredible combination. And together they can ignite the imaginations of students, allowing their students to do absolutely amazing things that they never dreamed were even possible. We have seen how students are more engaged and enjoy learning when they're learning with the iPad. So today we're going to look at some of these features, some of the iPadOS 14 features for education. We're going to cover some of the built-in apps for teaching and learning. We'll look at some amazing teacher tools for in and out of the classroom. And we'll look at some curriculum for teachers and some guidelines on how you can make use of those. So if you have your iPad in front of you, follow along. And try and give it a go as we go through some of these iPad OS 14 features for education. So I'm going to start off with this. I'm going to hop a little bit between this presentation and then showing you what the feature is actually made about, or made entails, and then we'll chat a little bit more throughout today's session. So I see everybody. I love that you're joining us. I got from Joburg, from Pietermaritzburg. That's my hometown. So thank you all for joining, and let's get started with those features. So these are just, remember, some of the features. There are so many more that come built in on your device. We've just chosen some of them that really make teaching and learning easier, simpler, and more exciting. And one of those features is annotation. It is one of my all-time favorite feature, and it is a great way for teachers to annotate or to give feedback to students on assignments, on tasks, when collaborating. You can do annotation in any of the iWork apps, which we're going to cover a little bit later today. You can use it in notes. You can use markup on pictures, on documents. It is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to quickly hop into a Pages document. I'm just going to open that up very, very quickly. There we go. And I'm going to make a new document here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to, and you'll see, we will talk a little bit about Pages as we go on, but I'm going to essentially pick a visual report. I want something that's got like pictures and that's got text and things like that. We will cover a little bit about templates and how incredible those are to actually use. But for now, I just want to focus on that annotation. Now, we all know that the iPad has the ability, or the latest versions of the iPad have the ability to be paired and work lovely with an Apple Pencil. It is my favorite tool to use. I absolutely love my pencil with my iPad, but any stylus works when it comes to annotation. It doesn't have to be an Apple Pencil. You can just use any normal stylus, or even your finger, to write and draw and tick and mark and give feedback. So to show you a little bit about annotation, I'm going to go to a page that has some text on it. Because it's a template, it's got a little bit of gibberish going on it. And to annotate on it, you can tap on that plus sign, go down into drawings, and tap on drawings. Now, once you've done that, you're going to get this pop up at the bottom. Drawings are incredible on its own when it comes to using Pages, numbers, Keynote. I'm mostly interested today in showing you the annotation. So how you can mark up and give feedback on your students' work, on their reports, on their tasks that they do. So you've got all these different tools that pop up at the bottom, moving from left to right. You've got a scribble tool, you've got a pen, a pencil, a crayon, a full eraser, a lasso tool to select everything. And then you've got that last one down there, and it's got it's like a highlighter. It's got an ABC and a number underneath that. So I'm going to select that, and that is going to be my annotation. That's going to be what I use to annotate. The difference being is if I tap on the pen tool and I tap to add it in, and I say, hello, with my pen tool, what that is going to do, once I'm done, once I'm happy, and I tap away from this little report, it adds it in as a block for me. So it's basically cutting away from my text and adding it in as a block. Now, I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to mark right on top of my students' work. So I bring that up again. I'm going to select that last tool, the highlighter, and that annotation highlighter and pen tool allows me to go over text and highlight something. I can tap on that and I can choose between the highlighter and the pen. And if I go into the pen tool, I can go and, oopsie, I pressed the home button there. I can go and I can tick and I can underline and I can say something like spelling. Oopsie. Clearly, my brain is not working too much on the spelling there, but I can go in and I can say all of this. What this does is instead of adding it in, instead of being able to move it around, as I move my document, my text, everything goes with the document. And that's the beauty about annotation. You can go in and you can mark students' work, you can give them feedback, you can make it necessary to what they have done. And it's not that they have to read a whole report and go and try and find where their errors were. You can do it right there on that document. Okay, so that is the brilliance of annotation. I love it. It is one of my favorite things to use. And it really just makes teaching and learning and giving feedback and all of these things just such a nice and simple experience for everybody. Okay, so moving on from that one, like I said to you, the annotation works really nicely in Pages, but you can add markup, you can add things to a picture, you can add little scribbles to a notes document, you can do all of that. And added in with that is the next thing I wanted to show you, which is how you can scan documents using the Notes app, and scan it and have it in your notes or in your note as a proper document, not as a picture that's got borders everywhere, that's blurry on the outside, that you're struggling to see the writing on. Now, I use this very often when it comes to researching tasks. If I have to go and find information on something, scanning a document, going to notes is my go-to for this section. So I'm going to hop quickly into notes here. Again, amazing things that you can do is you can create folders in notes. You'll see I have a whole lot of different folders. Just to help me stay organized. And in each folder, I can go and I can create a note. So I can title this note mountains, and I'm just going to be writing today. You can type it. You can use the scribble tool to turn your handwriting into text. You can do all of that here. You can add these drawings. Lovely. So I'm going to just title this mountains, and I'm going to start collecting information. Now, this is an amazing way for students to project plan, to bring their ideas together before they actually present it. This notes is absolutely incredible in your planning stages. Now, I might want to add in something from a book, something that I found in a book or in an encyclopedia or something like that. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on those three dots, and I'm going to tap and select scan. Now that's going to pop up my camera. I'm going to open up my folder, and here you go. I've got my book. I'm actually going to turn it a little bit. Sorry, there we go. And I am going to try and just take a picture of this one page. Cool. So as I'm going higher, as I'm trying to find it, moving in the wrong direction here, you can see it's trying to pick up the page for me. And once it does, once it picks it up, there's my take a picture button. Should be a lot steadier than I am currently. But there we go. And I'm going to snap that picture. Okay, cool. Now you can see I was not very good at that. It tried to pick it up and I just wasn't quick enough on it. So all I'm going to do is using these corners, I am going to drag and select. I'm going to turn that over around. And I can actually drag and select where I want the page to be. So I'm not taking all the background. You saw I had the cables and everything there. I'm just selecting the text on it. I'm going to say keep scan. And there you go. It adds it in for me as a page. Now, once I'm done, I can add multiple pages in, but once I'm done, I'm going to click on save. And here it is, it's added it in for me. You can go and rotate this document by double tapping on it. And there you go, you've got that little rotate button there at the top. I can even go and I can add in a bit of drawings on it. So I've just tapped on it with my pencil and I can say, really good resource. So I can actually go in and I can add that in. And all of this is going to be added. I'm just tapping done and done at the top. It's added in to my document for me. Now, along with, like I said, I can spend a whole session on notes. It is one of my favorite apps to use. But something that works beautifully with notes that you actually can bring into the classroom, that you can look at when children are doing research, when they're looking for information, is using information from the internet. So I know books nowadays and finding information in books is generally not the go-to. Students generally go onto the internet and look for information on certain topics there. Now, what's really nice, again, on your iPad is using Safari. Now, on Safari, it's the web browser on your iPad. There is so much that you can do here. So I've literally just looked up mountains. This was my task. And I've got all this information. I can see so much of information going on. It's the whole of Wikipedia here. I've got all the tabs on the side. As a student, I might not want to see all of this. I might want to just focus on the information that's being given to me. I don't want to see all the extras. I don't want to see everything else. Now that's where with Safari, you can actually get rid of that clutter by going at the top on your URL and tapping on those double A's, letter A's, and you can go to show reader view. Now look at that. It looks nice. It's clean. It's neat. Students don't have to worry about everything else. They can see the actual information coming through here. So really, really nice feature coming in on Safari, and it's brilliant when you're researching, when you're trying to find information. The last thing that I want to show you before I hand over to Z, who's got some incredible features coming up, is how to do some multitasking. And we know as teachers, we are always multitasking and we try to do 3 or 4 different things all at once. And with your iPad, that becomes easy. So with multitasking, I can have the Safari page opened. And now I want to copy some of this information. I might want to take some of the pictures and put it into my notes document where I was doing my research. So I'm going to drag up. I'm going to pull up from the bottom of my screen just a little bit to reveal my doc. So it's just going to be up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my notes app, which is already on my doc, and I'm going to tap and drag on it. So I'm going to tap and drag on it. No, Demi. Sorry. So I've just pulled up, I tap and I drag, and there you go. It's bringing up notes for me. I'm going to pop it here in the side on the right-hand side. And when I let go, it's opened up everything for me. So I can go into my mountains notes, the ones that I was working on. I can now go onto Safari and I can select some of this text. So I can select some text here, maybe go up to there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on it, hold it, and drag it across, and it's going to paste it in there in notes for me. I can go and I can do the same with pictures. I can tap on it and drag it and drop it into notes, and it's going to paste it there for me. Now, with all of this, because we know students, it's really important that they know they can't just copy information and share it. They can do the exact same thing with that URL. They can tap on that URL and they can actually drag it and paste it there, and it pastes it as a link so that if you're working together, another student can go and have a look at that source and see what it is. Where did this information come from? So really, really incredible features coming through. And that's just with 3 or 4 different features that I've looked at. We've looked at the annotation, we've looked at notes, we've looked at Safari, and we've looked at split screen, so multitasking with split screen. All really, really incredible features. Oh, and we looked at scanning with notes. Okay, so let me go over split screen with you again. It's an incredible feature and I love, love, love using it. One of my absolute favorite features to use. With split screen, you need to have one of the apps opened already. So I'm going to open up Safari. Let's get rid of my split screen there. I'm going to open up Safari. And if I want to copy some information through and paste it into notes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag up from the bottom of my dock. So I'm just going to pull up a little bit from the bottom of my screen. Now, it's really important to know that whatever you want to split screen with, you need to have that app at the bottom on your dock. So I want to split screen with notes. I'm going to tap and hold, just tap and hold and drag it. And then I'm going to drop it next to it. And that's how you're going to do split screen. Something to also add to that is how to close split screen. So once you have it open, you'll see in the middle, you've got a little gray line. All you're going to do is drag that to the right-hand side, and that's going to close up split screen. Okay, cool. I hope that answered that question for you. I am going to move on, and the next feature that I want to showcase to you, like I said, absolutely incredible feature for me, and this one is it's different because it's an accessibility feature, and it's something that people generally don't use or look at if they don't need it, but it is such an incredible feature to help you during online teaching. And online teaching, we know a lot of us are in a hybrid situation, or we've had to take some of our classes online. So this is a really, really cool way to help you during that. Now, often enough, and you would have seen as I was presenting to you, I point out something and I say this button and that button and tap here. But why not be able to show this? So in your settings tab, if you open up settings and you go down on the left-hand side to accessibility and tap on accessibility, one of the accessible options that you have under vision is zoom. And this creates a little bit of a magnet. It's a little panel that you can zoom in on text. If I go on and I switch zoom on, you'll see there's that little magnifier. That's what I could actually go and I can hover over something and it will enlarge it for me. I've got to actually set that zoom filter and make that zoom level a bit bigger than for what I need it. What you should also do to use and have this little beautiful pointer is go down the options and see the zoom controller. And on that one, if you go show controller, you will see in the bottom corner here, I have gotten this little controller. It's a little button. And all I've done is I've used it and I can move this around. But if I switch zoom off, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to keep the controller on. I'm just going to get that window to go away. And I'm going to do that by tapping 3 fingers twice on my screen. You'll see that disappears. But that little controller is still here. And I can use that and I can point and I can say, go to zoom, tap the back button there, tap on accessibility. I can go out of this page and I can say, go and open, shift it, go and open Keynote. And I can point to Keynote here. So this little zoom icon can be shifted around and used to point out things and showcase things to students, especially when you are in an online teaching environment. So that's one option that you have here to just bring in Zoom as a controller. Now, the next feature that I wanted to show you, and I think this feature for me is really a game changer in teaching and learning. It is something that I think is absolutely incredible. It is one of those features that you will never not find a use for, and that is screen recording. Now, screen recording there's so many uses for it. Students can showcase how they actually complete a task. If you've got a coding project and you want to see how they've run their code, you can use screen recording. If you want students to give you an explanation of a presentation that they're doing, they can use screen recording to actually record and make notes and just add in a lot of details, creating this really cute small little video. Now, screen recording needs to get added. You can have it easily accessible across every single app that you use, but it's got to be activated first. And to do that, you're going to go into settings, you're going to go into control center, and you can see I've already got screen recording in my included controls. But you can always go, if it's not there, look at all those more controls and add screen recording into your control center. What this means is that you can be on any app, you can be anywhere in your device, on your device. And all you're going to do is you're going to pull down from the top right corner, and here you're going to see that little button. Wait, I'm going to use my Zoom controller and show you. It's this little button. It's got a circle and a bigger circle, like an outline of a circle, and that is screen recording. Now, once you tap on that button, it's going to count you down, and then everything that you do on your device gets recorded. As you swipe, it gets recorded. As you write, it gets recorded. So everything gets added into your recording. And once you're done, you pull down again, tap on the button once more, and it will save it to your camera roll. Really, really nice about screen recording. If you tap and hold on it, I can't screen record while screen sharing. It's just too many screen thingies involved. What you can do is you can put on this microphone, turn on your microphone, and that way students can talk through what they are showing you on their device. So they can actually walk it through and walk you through what it is that they are recording. Absolutely amazing feature, screen recording, and one that I think the possibilities for use are absolutely endless. The last thing that I want to show to you, which is one of my favorite things to use, and please do keep in mind that all the features that I'm showcasing to you today are the tip of they're just like the little tip of the iceberg. There's so much more. We can go in depth into all of these features, much more. And we do have sessions that we showcase all these features. We do have sessions where we bring all these features, which I will showcase to you at the end, some of our upcoming sessions. So the last feature that I wanted to show you in our iPadOS 14 features is asking Siri. Now, Siri is absolutely incredible. She's not just there to have a conversation with when you're bored. She is incredible, and she can bring just help to you at any given time. In the classroom, I found that using Siri, there are so many possibilities. So I see Z back. I'm going to finish up with Siri, and then I'm going to hand over straight to her. Now, with Siri, you can ask her for help with random things. You can ask her to pick a random number. You can ask her to roll a dice. You can ask Siri to set a timer. You can even ask Siri to spell a word for you, and she's going to help you. Now, the spelling of words, amazing feature to help students. If they're not sure of something, they can just go and ask Siri. If for a teacher, if you are looking at how to randomize and pick a random child in your class, you can ask Siri for a random number between 1 and 25, and she will pop that up for you. So I'm going to head out from here. It is as simple as making sure, hey, Siri is switched on. And once that is switched on, you can give that command, or you can tap and hold onto your home button, and you could say, set a timer. So either, hey Siri, or you can say set a timer. And what she would do is she's going to ask you for how long you want your timer. She's taking a bit of time because I've got Zoom running as well as a whole lot of other things going on. But what she would do is she would ask you for how long, and then you can give her that and she would set a timer for you. I'm going to try that one again. Set a timer.
For how long?
2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes and counting.
And there you go. She's giving you her 2 minute countdown. I can tap in, say cancel timer, and she will cancel my timer for me. I can say something like pick a random number between 1 and 25. She's a bit slow today because I've got so many things running. I promise you she is a lot faster when you're not Zoom.
The timer.
There we go. When you're not on Zoom. But I could say, hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 25.
It's 17.
And there you go. She gives you a random number that you can use. So there's so many different things that you can do with Siri. There's so many things that you can ask her and that you can get on board and just ask her to help you with things. Okay, Z, we're going to give this a try. I will keep on screen sharing for you just to help that go a little bit easier. But we are going to head into our next section, which is going to be looking at the built-in apps for teaching and learning. Now, we've already looked at some of the amazing things that Notes can do. But amazing built-in apps like Pages, Numbers, and Keynote really provide great way for students and teachers to work with documents. We saw a bit of Pages, we saw a bit of Notes, and I like I said, I touched on those topics. Collaboration on these apps become easier than ever with support for iCloud folder sharing. So you can actually share entire folders of work and the ability to edit shared documents while offline. And that for me is one of the greatest, it's such an incredible feature because I can go and edit my stuff offline, and the day or when I get back online, when my device is connected to Wi-Fi, it will upload those changes for you. So looking at the Notes app, we've seen how it's an amazing app for project planning and sharing of information. You can also add in things which we didn't even look at, like tick boxes and scanning documents. We can add text, so not just handwriting and converting handwriting to text. You can add drawings. Notes really is your perfect planning partner. And this is for teachers and for students. Also added on this is data recognition. Notes is incredible at having data recognition. So it picks up dates that link it directly to your calendar. So you can add in due dates for tasks into your calendar directly from Notes. Just like the other apps, add in collaboration, and you have an absolutely brilliant planning process for a hybrid learning environment. Now, we looked a bit at Pages and we looked at Annotation, but with Pages, writing comes to life in any classroom. Especially we've seen it become so magical in the languages classroom. A report or creating a dictionary feels different when students add in their own drawings or create an immersive interactive book. And all of this can be done directly from the Pages app. Pages has some gorgeous templates, as you caught a quick glimpse of, to choose from, and the ability to customize every single part of your document. And this all is really to help teachers and students make their reports, make their content, their worksheets, their tasks that they're submitting more expressive and creative. Again, not forgetting the incredible collaborative feature to make working together absolutely seamless. Okay, Z, are we going to give this a try?
So Demi's really gone through some amazing iPad 14 OS features, and I feel like, you know, they're so useful in an educational setting, but I'm here to also chat to you about numbers. And so I know Demi's spoken to you about pages and notes already, but numbers is also like really, really amazing, because you can actually bring your maths and science lessons to life using the impressive tables and charts in numbers. And the added bonus is you can actually add drawings to your documents to create that, to actually have visual content, because, you know, some learners learn differently. Some are visual, some, you know, they learn, you know, just by swatting and stuff. So for the visual learners, this really helps them as well. So numbers allows you to actually add photos, videos, other media to actually just showcase your projects and tasks, as well as your experiments. And so just like pages, you have your built-in templates and your collaborative tools, which makes it more than just your data collection app. Because then everybody thinks Excel, they think, oh my God, boring. But it can actually be turned into a flowing canvas, which is quite amazing, you know, in terms of that. So, I mean, now we can look at Keynote as well. And with Keynote as well, you know, there's so much you can do with Keynote. And like, let's say, for instance, if you want to use it in a life skills environment, teachers and students, you could actually add drawings, notes right inside your projects. You can put like dazzling charts, you can edit your photos, incorporate cinematic effects. It's really an amazing app, you know, that comes on the iPad. And from teachers and with teachers and students, you could again choose your different themes to help you create distinct and memorable presentations that's more engaging, along with education focused shapes, sketches, and animations. So there's a lot of features that Keynote actually comes with, and it's keeping with your iWork trend. Keynote, it brings your collaborative features, and it makes it perfect for group tasks as well. So, you know, kids can work on collaborative projects together in the classroom as well. They can share it with the teacher can make some notes on it, and once they're done making those notes, you know, you could actually then the students could actually see it in terms of that. But I mean, those are all really amazing apps and features on the iPad. But let's look at your teaching tools. So this is everything that's going to assist you to integrate it all into the classroom. All right, and Apple actually has teaching tools to assist you with that. So it's great to have all these apps and these features on the iPad, but how do we actually bring that into our classroom? So with all the amazing new things that will be happening in the classroom, we know that that as teachers, you actually want some tools to help guide you through your learning, guide your learning experience with your students. And that's why Apple's come up with two amazing apps, which is also, again, built into the iPad, which you don't have to download, separately. It's the Apple Classroom and Apple Schoolwork app, which is, like I said, an Apple native app, which is quite an amazing thing. All right, so let's look at the first one, at Classroom. So Apple Classroom, basically, it's a powerful app for your iPad and your Mac, all right? And it's designed to be your teaching assistant. It's been embraced by educators all over the world. So, you know, it must be really good if people all over the world are actually using it. And it puts teachers in charge of every device in the classroom, so that you can actually, as a teacher, guide your students through different lessons, or open their apps, navigate them to a specific page in a book, and keep them actually focused on the task at hand. And as a teacher, you can create your own classes, you can manage your students' iPads and Macs, share and receive documents and links as well, open apps, websites, and books. You can actually see what the students see and see activity with class summary. And that's one of the main things that I think is very important, is that as a teacher, you can have control over your students' devices, and you can actually see what they're seeing. So if you see that a child is not actually, focusing on the task in hand and doing what they're supposed to, you can actually lock their iPad, and they won't be able to have access to that, which is actually quite an amazing thing. Or you can even just lock them into that particular app you want them to be in. So the classroom really gives you the power to have control within the classroom with technology. And so now looking at schoolwork, okay, because that was Apple Classroom, so now this is Apple Schoolwork. Apple Schoolwork is basically here to make it easy for you as teachers to share your class materials, assign different activities within apps, and view your students' progress, okay? So students have one place to see all the assignments, what they have to do. They can submit their work here through Schoolwork, and they can also view their progress, which is quite important as well. And so therefore, your schoolwork actually, as a teacher, it will simplify your daily workflow by making it easier to create and send handouts that are flexible enough to contain almost anything. So including like your links, PDFs, documents, and even links to activities within apps, okay? So it can be used for announcements, reminders, assignments. It's really an amazing app in terms of bringing this here into a hybrid classroom as well. So you don't have to have your students there all the time, or even a remote learning classroom as well. This is a perfect setup to actually use, in terms of how you actually get to interact with your students and set tasks for them, and comment on their assignments and so forth. So really, honestly, Schoolwork is actually really an amazing app for that. And now looking at your curriculum for teachers, because it's amazing, now that you have the tools, you have an idea of how these apps actually work, but what about a curriculum? So Apple actually has something like that. And let's begin with their newest program called Everyone Can Create. Okay, so they've actually created something that us as teachers can use in our classroom. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel, which I know a lot of the times creating creating curriculum can be sometimes very time consuming, but Apple's helped you out here, how to actually use the different apps, and work it around certain subjects as well. So that Everyone Can Create, it actually introduces students to new skills, to express themselves, their ideas, what they've learned actually through music, video, photography, and drawing. So you can see that there's so many different aspects that you can look at using the Everyone Can Create guide. So you see you have two different guides. You have the Everyone Can Create. You've got guides designed for educators. There's guides designed for parents. These guides were actually, designed by educators, parents, artists, musicians, and photographers. So you can see you've got your teacher guide, and you've got your teacher guide for early learners in Everyone Can Create, but you've also got Everyone Can Create drawing, music, photography, and for video as well. So you can see that there's really a lot in terms of how the Everyone Can Create assists in terms of your curriculum, and it's quite broad as well because it touches on a lot of subjects. So again, lesson integration, just like I spoke about, it includes a new teacher guide, okay, where you bring your projects and integration ideas for each creative sphere or your subjects, and it makes it easier for teachers to do activities in small groups, or even with an entire class. So you can see that it gives you all of that in the guide, so that it helps you so you don't have to do it yourself. But yeah, over to Demi, because Demi is going to explain to us another type of curriculum that Apple has, which is also amazing.
Thank you, Z. So over and above just Everyone Can Create, we know that just like drawings and photography, English, or even maths, coding is another way that students can express themselves. It's an essential literacy and a way to help students think critically and creatively, and learn better problem solving techniques. So here comes in the Everyone Can Code curriculum. And this was introduced to help students, or to teach them, computational thinking and coding with Swift. The curriculum uses Swift Playgrounds, so that's their main focus, an incredible free built-in app on your device, and it really makes learning code fun and super interactive. I cannot tell you how many times students have had an absolute amazing fun time just learning some of these coding concepts and terminology. Now, not just about using Swift, and not just about using the playgrounds that they have built. Using this app, students can also write Swift code to integrate it or link it up with some robots and teach some robots to dance. They can teach some drones to fly, and they can do so much. These are absolute hands-on coding activities that connect devices and show students how coding concepts can take shape in the physical world around them. So really an absolutely incredible resource here coming through with curriculum. Not only does it give you lesson ideas and integration ideas, it also helps you with the actual code, making it easy and simple for anyone to teach this coding, even if you don't have coding or with very little coding experience. Okay, and that brings us towards the end of today's session. There was a lot of information shared. I do want to give you the chance to process it for 10 seconds, and then feel free to ask any questions, pop it in the Q&A, pop it in the chat. If you have any questions for us. While you are doing that, I am going to let Z take you through some absolutely incredible specials and offers and upcoming and all those exciting things that I mentioned at the beginning.
Yes, thank you, Demi, for that. Please remember, guys, interact with us. Let us know what you thought about today's session. If there's anything else you'd like to know more about, please let us, pop it into the chat so that we also know, what to prepare for next time. But with Think Ahead, so we have some really amazing iPad offers for parents, teachers, and educational institutes, from iPad cover bundles to iPad and pencil bundles. And you'll get some more information available on our Couch to Class Facebook group, or you can contact us at parents@thinkahead.co.za. So please feel free to actually have a look on our Couch to Class page. Otherwise, just email us in terms of what you're looking for, and we can try and assist you. And now with our upcoming events, we've got on the 18th of February, accessibility, how the iPad is an all-in-one assistive device for low vision, because February is low vision month. And so our focus is on low vision and accessibility. Maximizing the use of the Apple Pencil for education. So if you are interested in what the Apple Pencil can do for you, join us in this session. Single sign-on and mobile device management. So this would be a lot with, in terms of managing your devices. So if you do have, ICTs or IT teachers that would like to join the session to learn more about that, please, share this with them. Let them know that on the 25th of Feb. It would be really informative that they know how that happens. Okay. And on the 11th of March, we're actually having the Everyone Can Code and Augmented Reality Summit. Please contact us, inquiries at thinkahead.co.za to book a ticket now. It's going to be really, really amazing. We have speakers from all over the world. So yeah, they're going to share with us, what's happening and what are the trends around the world. And you'll see it's actually not so different to what's actually happening here. And also with regards to our Couch to Class Facebook group, I did speak about that in the previous slides. Please join our Couch to Class Facebook group. It's meant for teachers and basically powerful products, guidance on different tools, inspiration, curricula to help teachers continue to teach anytime and anywhere. It is a community group for teachers to just share on this platform. So please feel free to join our Couch to Class Facebook group. And lastly,
thank you.
You can scan below. Thanks, Demi.
Thanks so much, Z. And thank you everybody for those comments. I'm loving the chat that's coming through. And I am so glad to see that that this was helpful, that you're joining us on Thursday. I am super keen for these upcoming sessions. Think Ahead really is here to support you, and we want to offer you some support and guidance. If you have any questions surrounding teaching and learning with iPad in the intermediate phase, please feel free to scan the code below, or you can email me, and we can set up a free consultation where we chat to you about what's your school's environment like, what it is you're trying to do and bring to your school, and we can really help you design and bring to you that best possible solution. So I see there isn't any questions per se for answering. I love that Jane says it's often like lost in doing things in a certain way, and I couldn't agree more. It's really good and exciting to see how much more your device can do for you, because we all get stuck in looking at it and how we focus on it, but let's see what it can do for us. So I want to thank everybody, and I want to thank Z for joining me in the session today. It was lots of fun planning and prepping and now delivering this session. Remember, you can book for any of our upcoming sessions using the iStore website on screen. And if you're interested in any of the offers that Think Ahead offers, don't forget the Couch to Class group, or you can visit our website or contact us at inquiries@Think Ahead. I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon, and we hope you have a wonderful afternoon further. We look forward to seeing you at one of our upcoming sessions. Thanks, everybody, and have a great afternoon. Bye.